Another Brick fan with a LEGO Marvel set. This is Baby Rocket's ship. This is set 76254. It was released in April 2023. It has 330 pieces, one minifigure, and then of course that little baby rocket mold there. And it cost about $35 when it was first released. This set is from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I haven't seen yet, so I don't know the entire backstory behind this ship, but I'm assuming it has something to do with Rocket's origin story or backstory, so I'm looking forward to seeing the movie. It has essentially the same color as the Guardians ship in that kind of dark yellow-orange coloring, which I thought turned out pretty nicely on this. It does have a lot of movable parts, so let's take a closer look at the ship. Here is the ship, and as I mentioned, it's in this nice dark yellow or maybe even slightly orange, yellow-orange color, and then the orange highlights on it. Of course, there's some green here and the detailing on the front shield or windshield of the vehicle. Of course, the front thrusters, so you see there's some thruster pieces back here that are on kind of a slight angle. So the bottom ones are on a clip piece so they can be angled even more, so you can do that. And then these turn 180 degrees. The arms here are on friction joints, so that can be spread out. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be blades, maybe weapons of some kind. It's really unclear to me since I haven't seen this ship in action. The back engines here also turn, so these are also on a friction joint, and they could turn around 180 degrees, but they'll run into these front sections here if you do that. So in all the pictures, these are kind of shown to be at a little bit of an angle, but you can do whatever you want with it. And then of course there are two of these newer stud shooters, which I like very much, with the kind of the sideways design instead of the vertical design instead of the horizontal design as they used to have. So those are nice to see here. The interior of the cockpit here, as you can see in the interior of the cockpit, there's some controls here. So those are just a couple of little printed pieces actually. Those are pretty nice. There is enough room inside here for Rocket to be sitting here in the front. Baby Rocket can go on this little jumper here, and there is enough room. It's about one stud wide there where you can see his blaster pistol will fit. So the entire crew, as it were, fits inside of this model, which I thought was a very nice touch. The back here is also on a friction joint, so you can move that tail fin around a little bit. I do appreciate this little shaping here in the back. The ship is sturdy, so it's very well constructed. There's a little bit of detailing back here with these knife pieces, some other things, elements to give it a little bit of sloping. The landing gear, I suppose, looks pretty good. You can put it down on that landing gear and then move these front thrusters here to give you a nice stable landing. So that was also very nice. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the minifigures that come with this set. Here is the minifigure and the Baby Rocket mold. I guess you could maybe call this two minifigures. I'm going to say it's one minifigure with like a character with a character mold as well. But I really like the printing on the faces of both these. It really does look like a raccoon with that good look of the way the fur comes around the outside and that white, and then the different shade of brown there. That little mouth, I think it really turned out well. The prints are really good on both these. I think Rocket's had this same head mold for a while. Of course, he has a built-up laser or built-up blaster here. Rocket's pretty famous for building his own weapons. The torso for Rocket, I believe, is the same one they're using through most of the Guardians of the Galaxy minifigs here in this wave, which is the new Guardians of the Galaxy uniform. It's in this blue with the red trim and then that gold Guardian symbol in the middle. So I think that turned out pretty well. He does have the short legs, of course, so the non-bendable legs. And then you can see this brown line here. That's where his tail piece is. So here's the side here of the little baby Rocket mold. You can see the tail there for Rocket, which is a pretty common piece. Been around for a while, but that is a nice soft rubbery piece that fits for his tail. No side printing, but I think the back printing is okay on the back of Rocket here. The only printing we see on Baby Rocket is on the face there. But two very nice figures that come with this set. So let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts. As I had mentioned earlier, all of these figures do fit inside. So the way they designed the cockpit was to make sure all of these elements fit. So you can take the little blaster pistol from Rocket there. It fits right here in the back. As you can see right there, Baby Rocket fits on this jumper plate. And then Rocket, of course, fits inside. Now he has the short legs, so he doesn't actually sit, but he stands right there in the control panel area. As you can see, maybe a little bit there, how all three of them fit inside very nicely. And then that top just closes up. So it's really nice to have enough room inside of the vehicle to put all of the figures and accessories that come with it. That's not always the case. In fact, it's probably rarely the case in a lot of these sets. Overall, I think it turned out quite nicely. There are some little silver elements here and like these candlestick pieces just to give it a little bit more character and greebling, as they call it. Little nugget, little of the ingot pieces here on the sides as well. The little green front windshield, or whatever you want to refer to that as, the screen in the front, I think is really nice. I think that color matches up really well. Of course, this is all designed from the movie itself. So it's going to be interesting to see this ship on screen when the movie comes out here in a couple of weeks. Overall, the value of this set isn't too bad, quite honestly. As a Marvel set, I would expect it to be a little bit more expensive, and it does run in just over. It's 330 pieces at $35, so just over that 10 cent per piece, closer to 11 cents per piece, which I kind of use as a baseline, but I do expect the licensed sets to be a little bit more expensive. So I'm not surprised at this $35. You know, it's always great to get Lego at a discounted price. I think in general, 20% off Lego is really where I think the prices should normally sit, which would put this at a little less than $30 for this set, which I think would have been a great price point. Overall, though, I think it's a really good value. It's a nice display piece. It does have a lot of playability with it. And like I said, it probably does fill out the scene from the movie, or the vehicle from the movie, quite well. So I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy set. I'm going to get started on my next video, but until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my Marvel review playlist up here on the screen.